Sorry to interrupt the conversations. I'm excited that you're having those and a chance to catch up with colleagues, new and old. But we're going to get started so we can stay hopefully on schedule. So to all of our new employees that were just introduced, welcome to the family. We're glad that you were with us. If you would, we typically do this on this day, if you would take a moment to please join me in a moment of silence for those individuals both in the ICC family, our former employees, as well as our Board of Trustees members that have passed away since we were last together. If you'll join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. While employees may retire, may leave for other job opportunities, and we hire new individuals, our mission will always stand strong to provide a high-quality education at an affordable price while serving as an economic driver for our service district and region. This has been our mission for 74 years and will continue to serve as Mississippi's premier community college. We are glad to have each of you back on the campus. We're going to start with a 2021-2022 year in review, but some disclaimers. I will only touch on some of the many high points of the past year. So many great things have happened this last year that in the interest of time, we have had to greatly reduce what I could cover, which I'm sure you're excited about us reducing that. But that also means, unfortunately, we'll leave some things out, which is not a slight to anyone, but this will give you a little bit of an idea of the highlight of some of the accomplishments, but also some scope and scale of what occurs at college. So ICC was named one of 25 semifinalists nationwide in this selection of the prestigious 2023 $1 million Aspen Prize. Hold on, we didn't get the $1 million because you have to get number one in order to do that, but we were in the top 25. This is the first time ever. But the exciting part also with that is, for the fourth time in a row, we were in the top 150 community colleges. There's over 1,000, nearly 1,100 community colleges in the nation, and to be in those ranks 4 times in a row over an 8-year period is really unbelievable. But to also make it in the top 25 is tremendous. For our size, our scope and scale, our diversity in our region is very different when you look at other parts of the country. So it's impressive that we can do that, and it's based on student success, which does not happen without y'all. First time in colleges, This is also an indication of the success of the college, its continuing status as a premier community college, and a testament to our exceptional faculty, staff, and students, without whom it would be impossible. Let me just add, faculty, you can provide all the challenges in the classroom you want, but if students aren't willing and able to step up to that challenge and you're able to coach them along and we're able to provide support services and wrap around all those things, none of this would be possible. But it all starts in that classroom, and we're blessed to have some great students that you can guide along the way. The Alumni and Foundation saw a 25% increase in total funds raised for the year, 44% increase in endowment funds raised, 13% increase in endowment value, a 69% increase in scholarship support for students. Thank you to Michael, Jim, Tilda, and our foundation and alumni boards for the work and effort put into that and the impact it makes on our college and our students. Community Relations and Sports Information Department won the most first place award finishes among all of the community colleges in the state, by almost double at the College Public Relations Association of Mississippi Awards. The department won 21st through third place overall awards and won the Grand Award in Electronic Media, the most prestigious award in the competition. We also swept the sports photography category. I was there because I spoke that day, and it was quite impressive and almost slightly embarrassing, not because we won all those awards, but because I was trash talking the other folks that were there that they didn't. The presidents, I just give them a hard time, because you know when you can do it, you got to do it. They sent over 450 news releases to area media. We wish the media always ran those, but we send them out anyway. Produced 3 in-house TV commercials that were just exceptional, even on the Super Bowl. Reintroduced, I think they were better than the Doritos commercials. Reintroduce focused marketing efforts on adult education, increase career pathways marketing, and the Let's Go ICCTV.com channels, 2 channels, drew roughly 182,000 views. If you have not had a chance to join in and watch a game, I encourage you to do that. The guys do a tremendous job with that. Business Services and TIS, our technology department there, refunded 5,990 students HERF 2 and 3 funds totaling $5.6 million and some change. Well, of course they did that. That's their role in the business office, right? But that's immensely difficult to do because these are brand new funds with very new guidelines that tend to change on the regular. In fact, one of those refunds we made the first year, the day we sent out the checks, they changed the guidelines. So it was always interesting working with the federal government on that. We continue to manage roughly $21 million in federal COVID grant funds that have very tight and constraining guidelines on how we can spend those. Continue to integrate full outdoor Wi-Fi system at all of our locations while beginning to upgrade indoor Wi-Fi systems, beginning to transition to a majority Microsoft Surface platform for employees and students, and designed and implemented a new room scheduling system and probably a number of other systems that help run our institution, rather than us buying all those systems. Workforce and career education provided direct credit and non-credit instruction to more than 5,000 individuals, supported more than 12,000 industry trainees, more than 85,000 companies, and more than 100 child care centers were served. The division received more than $4 million in recruiting and new grant money. Over 4,000 individuals served through over 160 events at the Belden Conference Center. A lot of events going on there. It's crazy. You can go find a parking spot one day. The next day, there's not a parking spot to be had due to the events that are in there. Roughly 450 students served through adult education. We continue to make an impact all across our district with our adult education. The Mississippi Highway Patrol Preferred Candidate Program, CORE, launched last fall with the first class of more than 10 students enrolled in criminal justice technology. They receive extra training from the Highway Patrol, and they're here on our campus every Tuesday, Thursday, and they even do PT about 5:30 in the morning. If you want to go run with them, they go running by my house. I have yet to join them, but we're hoping that our first 2 graduates of that program will actually receive candidacy into the Trooper Academy this January. Dr. Sermon, I believe, is correct on that. The Forestry Technology Program became the largest in the state with more than 25 majors. Successful launch of the Construction Management Technology Program that helps graduates of the program to enter the workforce as a mid-level manager in the construction industry. Create Your Future internship program in partnership with Toyota through our Manufacturing Skills Basic Certificate Program with a 100% retention rate. I got to go to one of those graduation ceremonies at Toyota. Really neat to hear those students talking about staying in that industry as well. Human Resources and Administration. Tim talked a little bit this morning about the number of vacancies that we've had, and when we hire from within our institution, that only beget another vacancy. So it's the year of the blue folders, with 50+ job vacancy blue folders floating around, which they all come to my office eventually. And so never get tired of seeing those, but at the same time, there's a lot to go through on everybody's part. We appreciate that. 6.5% savings in overall college personnel budgets as a whole, even with all that hiring. 3 re-roofing projects completed. A re-roofing project is the least exciting construction project you can really do, because most of you don't know that the roof was replaced unless it was leaking really bad. And so, but it's a necessary evil is what we have to do. So they're not really exciting. The only thing a little less exciting than that is an HVAC replacement, unless it's really, really bad as well. Renovation of multiple buildings and spaces at all of our locations. Those things have been going on and continue. And more than 2,300 work orders completed by our maintenance, grounds, and janitorial departments or teams. This is including the fact that the AC in this building had a little problem yesterday with some lighting, but they've got it working. So we appreciate their efforts to make things happen on the fly. ICC Print Shop printed more than 1.1 million copies and printed more than 9,000 garments. Yes, we do our own silk screen. Our transportation team maintained over 80 vehicles that traveled more than 141,000 miles over the last year. This doesn't include the 110 athletic, student activities, or community-related trips that had bus drivers. Completion of many large projects, including the W.O. Benjamin Fine Arts Center auditorium renovation. Now let's pause for just a second. Those of you that have been here a while, there's something different, right? No longer do we have orange chairs that are from like the 70s, but really felt like they're probably from the 30s. There's no more orange carpet on the wall with sound panels. The lobby is tremendously different. In fact, when the architect showed us the renderings, I made the statement. Oh, I lost it. There you go. I made the statement to the architects that that's beautiful. What's our auditorium going to look like? And they said, that is your auditorium. I was like, no, I don't think so. And it did turn out just as they had described. But tremendous improvement. We still have lighting and audio-visual that will be finalized, but as with supply chain issues and the like, those are a little delayed. But excited about what we're able to do in this space. This is a showpiece for our college. It's a front door in many respects, used all the time by our community. We need to make it something that will portray the image of ICC that we want. They're nearing completion of the multi-purpose building exterior on the Tupelo campus. Not a project we really wanted to do, but when bricks start falling off a building, you gotta deal with it. So we have. Also, Magnolia Hall construction has been completed. Students have moved in there. If you have not had a chance to see that facility, I encourage you to do so. Typically, you can't just run into a residence hall facility. This would be one of those you can't run into either because it's card access. However, I believe Sarah and Caitlin have orchestrated today. If you want to come by and see that, if we finish up a little bit early and you get by before you head back to your office or campus, run over there and see that real quick. It's a wonderful, wonderful facility with tremendous collaborative study spaces in there. Our library staff was very jealous. And I pointed out this is just a glimpse of what's yet to come in our new library facility that we're working on. The ICC Film Club received a $5,000 grant from, instructional services. The ICC Film Club received a grant of $5,000 from the Mississippi Hills Heritage Area Alliance to complete recent filming that they were working on. Also, they are helping with the feature-length film Mississippi Scholar that had pieces filmed here on the Fulton campus, even in my office. Bradley Howard, Dr. Jada Mills, and Heather McCormick wrote a $20,000 Mentor Links grant that was awarded through the American Association of Community Colleges for 3 STEM initiatives. 5 $500 scholarships were awarded to STEM majors through NASA grant funds received by the college. Our e-learning team continued to rank in the top for best online colleges in the state, with our paralegal technology program ranked number 2nd in the nation. The E-Roads and Leona B. Carpenter Simulation Laboratory was dedicated in our health science building on the Tupelo campus, which allowed for 8 beds with glass enclosures for line of sight observation for our ADN, our associated practical nurses, and respiratory therapy programs. If you've not seen that facility, I encourage you to do so. Wonderful, beautiful facility. It's so impressive what we're able to do in there to simulate a live hospital or clinic setting. However, I will tell you it does creep me out a little bit when I'm in there. They moan and they're mannequins, but you can't call them dummies because they're too expensive. But they moan at you and they fuss and whine and they give birth to babies and just a lot of stuff that's just not natural to me. So I stay away. But it is a spectacular facility, and at the beginning of COVID, our simulation labs is what got us through while the hospitals wouldn't let us in because we didn't know what we know today. The Associate Degree Nursing and Practical Nursing programs were awarded a $40,000 New Beginning Nursing Education for Women grant, which allowed for $800 stipends to be awarded to qualifying nursing students during the last semester in their programs to help offset licensing requirement cost. Our Instructional Support Services team continues to expand its efforts to add accountability and support for student athletes and those enrolled in developmental courses. The tracking of academic success speaks for itself. So proud of what we've been able to do there in just a couple of years. We continue to grow that with even more changes this year. Admissions, and that covers both Tupelo and Fulton campus. Tyler, something. Am I doing something wrong?
Grab a handheld if it keeps cutting out.
Okay. Admissions staff, I'll say student services. Admissions staff processed well over 9,500 admissions applications. Our support service office continues to provide statewide professional development opportunities that allows Mississippi teachers to receive CEUs. More than 600 teachers took advantage of this offering this past year. The Virtual Career Center posted more than 80 job listings, and softball received the first #1 national ranking in any sport in school history. That's massively impressive. Our campus police team has worked on new standard operation policies and co-hosted Coffee with Cops with student activities to promote information to students. The financial aid team processed more than 8,600 FAFSAs last year and processed more than 3,300 scholarship applications. And even with all of that, I'm sure students still did not get enough money, did they? Student activities continues to grow bigger and better, and what an important part of our college setting to have students activities outside of the classroom. And John Wayne's going to give me something here. Come on, John Wayne. Our recruiting team had some transition over the past year, but we are now back to full staff of 4 outstanding recruiters under the leadership of Mr. Michael Holloway. We look forward to what looks like a slight improvement in enrollment for this fall, so please help us make that happen. Let's finish strong here as we come up to the end of registration. Help us make that happen and get across the finish line. We really need an enrollment increase because we know that impacts our budget long term. What a year. Oh, and did I mention the fact that we did all of these things while dealing with a global pandemic that began to ebb and flow more and more, even got a higher number of cases. You may remember we started the spring semester, and there were 7,000 cases in the state of Mississippi at that time. But because of your efforts, following policies and procedures and guidelines, we had, and all of our testing we didn't do on campus, we had the ability to make it through that. So if you would, join me in giving each of you a round of applause for another successful year of growth and continued focus on student success. All right, I was going to walk around a little bit on this part, so we'll see what happens. I may lose the mic and I'll come back. As Miss Juanita Floyd said, you are the change, you're the one that can make a difference. I truly believe that. It happens with each one of you. As we look ahead, I want us to remember Rick Warren, author, pastor, motivational speaker, and the question that he asked in one of his books. What do you have that you have been given? Your talent, your education, your freedom, your network, not the technology network, your influence, your background, your opportunities, your wealth, your ideas, your income, your creativity, your gifts. Rick goes on to ask, what are you doing with what you've been given? The beautiful thing is, some of you have gifts I can't even dream of. You've got talents I can't even comprehend. And what's even more beautiful than that is, you use those to help move our students' lives forward and make an impact in our community, and I'm so thankful for that. He states that it's not about the me, it's about making the world a better place. You're the difference in one of the many reasons ICC is a premier community college that it is. I encourage you to see what you have been given that can help make us a better place and to help us make us great for our students. We continue towards our new strategic plan. It is a path to institutional excellence with our 3 main initiatives: enhance college climate, provide community impact, and deliver quality instruction. I know you won't be able to read all that stuff up there, but I hope you will take a dive into that and really look as you begin to think about your annual planning objectives and the like, that how we can use this comprehensive strategic plan in every piece of our college. I'm often told what a great job ICC is doing when I'm out and about, and I quickly respond with 2 things. We have great people that are doing great things, and it is our goal to be a little better than we were yesterday. You probably heard me say that a number of times. I'm tired of me saying that, but a little better than we were yesterday. I want us to spend the next few minutes as we kind of finish up this part, talking about how we can make incremental improvements. Incremental improvements is an approach to process improvement. TZ's in here somewhere. Kaizen has some incremental improvements, and you're teaching that in the industry, I know. But your focus in incremental improvements, you're focusing on efforts on smaller solutions that slowly but surely move the organization towards success. So small things that move us towards success. Typically low cost, low risk, and are implemented by employees throughout the entire organization. It doesn't just have to be me. It's every one of us. This is something everyone can do. How many of you have ever done the couch to 5K concept? Let me see a show of hands. Couch to 5K. All right. If Jada raised her hand, I was going to fuss at her because she's probably going to do the 5K marathon, not the couch to 5K. Some of us, like me, did more of the couch to refrigerator concept. But you know, in that, you're taking, I saw that, you're taking a step forward and you're saying, you know what? I can't run a 5K tomorrow, and if I did, I probably couldn't walk the next day. That's kind of the reality of that. But if I will take a few incremental steps, like I'm gonna walk past the refrigerator this time, and I'm gonna get out to the mailbox. And tomorrow I'm gonna do the stop sign. And you know what? Then I'm gonna run to the stop sign the next day and see if I can make that. Then I'm gonna go a little bit further, and I'm gonna go a little bit further. And incrementally, you're making progress towards that ultimate goal of running a 5K. That's how we have to bite things off so often. I did a challenge back this last part of the year where I decided, I don't really know why, that I was going to do this little challenge where you do 100 push-ups a day for, I think it was 90 days. And so I started with one, and I could actually do more than one, but not many more. And then I went through that, and I kept adding, and I did 20 at a time, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna do that a couple times a day. And I got to where I could do the 100 push-ups a day for 90 days. The hardest part was just fitting it in the day sometimes, and I ended up doing like 70 when I got home before I got to go to bed. I thought maybe when I went to the beach this summer that I'd have to make sure I had my ring out so people, I was married and stay away. That was not the case. It was not the case. Belinda never got worried. I was okay with that. That was fine. Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist, author, and speaker, talks about the power of incremental improvement. He talks about looking at what we are weak or inefficient at, what we are good at doing. And can we make incremental improvements in both of those things? Get a little better at the things we're good at, and a little better, or do a little less of the things that we're bad at. This is about moving to our goal incrementally, he says, not in one big leap, but in many small steps. If we take these small steps, you get a glimmer of the things you're possible to accomplish. As you think about that couch to 5K, you make it down to the end of the street and back without having to stop while you're running, begin to get a glimpse that you can actually make that happen. I also did something similar like that one time when my youngest, Molly Ann, was beginning cross-country running as a second grader while we were in Kentucky, and I was a little nervous about letting my second grader just go out and run where I couldn't keep an eye on her. So I thought, well, I'll run with her. So I worked for a couple of weeks to get up to where I could keep up with her pace, which was about an 8.5 minute mile. So I got there. That lasted about 3 or 4 days, and then she was faster than me yet again, and I gave up at that point and said I'll just have to follow her in a car or something because it's about all I can do. But it's those incremental things that I had to do to get there because I couldn't make it happen overnight. Tiny improvements with persistence, and you win. Tiny improvements with persistence, and you win. He talks about it in comparison to compound interest. I like compound interest. I like it when my money makes more money and the next year it makes even more money because the interest that I gained last year is added into the principal and it's gaining and it's gaining and it's gaining. I like that. I don't have enough of that, but I like it. Small goals that produce results that the next goal grows on top of the past goal's successes. Jordan says that if we do incremental improvement well, if we do it well, it will propel us forward. So I want us to talk just a minute about 10% better. What if for the next few years, we don't set... How many of y'all read the Jim Collins book, Good to Great? Some of you have seen that. Great author, great book. But he talks about big, hairy, audacious goals. Well, I'm not talking about us setting big, hairy, audacious goals that are scary and don't even know if we can do it. What I'm talking about is 10% better. We focus on measurable data that we can benchmark, and we can strive to make improvements by 10% each year on that data. This can be done by each person, by each office, each department, each division, and the college as a whole. Again, not some crazy big goal that we don't know if we could ever meet. Can we really even measure it? These are small measurable things. We're talking about something that we are currently doing and strive to do it 10% better, 10% faster, 10% more efficient, 10% less of something negative, or 10% more of something positive. 10% better for you, your area of the college as a whole, but most importantly, we think about 10% better for those we serve. Our students, our industry partners, and our communities. Our students need for us to be 10% better than we were yesterday. They need us to move them to be 10% better and more productive in the classroom. To push the students to get 10% better. How can we do that? We need to look at achievement gaps. And how do we close those achievement gaps based on race, gender, socioeconomic status? We mirror the population that we serve by race, not so much by gender, but by race in our 5 counties. But do we have the same output? Are all students completing at the same success level? And if they're not, why not? What can we do to close those gaps? Our region needs this, our communities need this, our state needs this. We've all got to move forward. So how do we close those gaps? Can we make it 10% better? I challenge you to adopt 10% better in your professional life, in your career, your impact on the college and the people we serve. You could even be 10% better in your personal life. It could be the couch to 5K instead of the couch to refrigerator that I'm really good at, but it could be small improvements in your personal life as well. How many of you wish you were 10% better or had 10% more? I do. I constantly try to grow because I know I need to be better than I was yesterday. The bar's pretty low for me, so I feel like I can make it happen. It starts with one step. It's not a huge change, small incremental changes. Our new strategic plan, a path to institutional excellence that we talked about. I believe we can work with Liz Edwards, your cabinet members, your deans and directors, and we can benchmark the data that will allow us to build an institutional focus on achieving this path to institutional excellence by making things 10% better. You know, it seems like a small goal, doesn't it? 10% better, we could do better than that. Well, we will do better than that in a lot of cases. We're going to fail on some of those. It's okay. We might get 8% better. But think about it, if our goal is a huge number of things to be 10% better than we were in the past, it begins to have massive impacts, and then we grow that year after year. You know, if we want to raise enrollment, we want to do it, and it'll be good, hire some good people, okay, maybe that'll work, but we got to begin to break it down. Can we get 10% more people to come visit campus? Can we get 10% more people to fill out information cards at our high school settings? Can we get 10% more applications in? Can we convert those at the same rate or a 10% better rate than we did before converting them to an enrolled student? Those are the type of things we have to do in order to make the final outcome be what we want it to be. Excellence by making things 10% better. You will begin to receive more information on that in the coming weeks. Remember, it is about tiny improvements with persistence to move us to success. Our students and our community needs us now more than ever to be better than we were yesterday. Join me in making ICC 10% better. 10% better, in my opinion, is doable, and you can be the difference in making that happen. I hope you'll join me in that. So as we talk about the future, we will soon begin celebrating a very exciting milestone for Itawamba Community College. If you will, check out this video.